Bonjour et bienvenue. Je suis Mademoiselle Edwards, and for today's video, I'm going to be looking at the 2018 Paper 1 Csec French exam. All right, so let's start. Section Part A, rather, has items 1 to 30 that you have to listen to in the exam. So I'll read the various sentences and also give the responses for each and a bit of translation and explanation. All right, so the first 4 images are here, and it says ils font de la pêche. Ils font de la pêche would be they are fishing, so it would be the. It couldn't be the cat is eating a fish, and they didn't mention that. And also this one says de font de pêcher, no fishing. So D is the better choice here. Number 2, question 2. On parle dans le salon. C. So we talk in the living room. This is the only one that looks like a living room, le salon. A and B have persons talking as well, but this would be like outside of class. So they'll be talking outside of class. This one, 2 women are talking at right beside a pipe. So it couldn't be that one. So le salon would be the key vocabulary there. Question 3. La voiture est en panne. If you think it's A, you're correct. The car isn't working, so A. In B, this seems like a cop car trying to pull over this one that's speeding. C, these are avant, so they're for sale, and this is a telephone that is broken. I need to get the images a bit bigger so you can see them better. All right. So that was number 3A. Number 4, je prends une glace. This is another one that they like to repeat. Je prends une glace would be B. I'm having some ice cream, or I'm having an ice cream. So une glace would be your key phrase, and that's ice cream. Again, as with the 2020 paper, glass that you drink from would be in verre. So B, ice cream. Number 5, ma tante porte un chapeau. Un chapeau would be what you would have heard, and that would be D. My aunt wears a hat. If you heard, for example, my aunt wore a turban, that would be it's the same word, turban, sorry, and B seems to be a headscarf, right? So you'd have to hear that word. So a headscarf would be foulard, so it couldn't be that. And then in C, she seems to have it the scarf around her. So D, un chapeau, a hat, would be number 5's best choice. Number 6 says, maman prépare quelque chose à manger pour le pique-nique. Again, the answer would be C. This one is repeated too. So this is the only one where somebody is preparing a meal, whereas A and B, the persons are already at the picnic doing their activities. Nobody's preparing anything. And B, she's in a kitchen, but she's not preparing food. She seems to be putting away the bottles. All right, number 7, question 7. Où t'es-tu blessé en tombant? So if you selected D, then you're correct. So the person was asking, where did you injure yourself when you fell, right? So this is the only one. En tombant, the person was falling. Where did they hurt? So it's D. All right. So number 8. Il se retrouve devant le cinéma. So you would select A for that sentence. They meet each other in front of the cinema. Ils se retrouvent devant le cinéma. Right? So remember in section, before I get there, devant would be before. So these one, they're meeting each other in front of the cinema. Everything else is showing persons at a cinema, except for D. D is showing a theater. C, she's at a cinema, but it seems as if she's waiting for someone, whereas the sentence is, ils se retrouvent. They meet each other or greet each other in front of the cinema, right? Right. So for section 1, again, for listening, you only hear the sentence once, and you're given 15 seconds to quickly find the answer based on the 4 images according to what you heard. It will not be repeated. Okay, so for section 2, this is where you'll hear like some sentences, and it's read twice. They're usually read twice, and then they're followed by a question or incomplete statement. So items 9 to 16 will cover that. So the first one, question 9, says, ta fille est malade. Elle a de la fièvre et elle vomit. Ta fille est malade. Elle a de la fièvre et elle vomit. À qui est-ce que sa mère téléphone? If you chose off médecin, you are correct. So the sentence said, his daughter is, or her daughter is sick. She has a fever and she's vomiting. Who does the mother call? À qui est-ce que sa mère téléphone? Who does her mother call? It would be au médecin, the doctor, not neighbors, not parents, and not certainly not the mechanic. All right, so D. Question 10. Monsieur, vous êtes mal garé. Déplacez votre voiture, sinon je vous donnerai une contravention. Monsieur, vous êtes mal garé. Déplacez votre voiture, sinon je vous donnerai une contravention. Qui parle? It would be B. Un agent de police. Why? It's saying that, Monsieur, vous êtes mal garé, which would be, sir, you're badly parked. Déplacez votre voiture. Move your car, or I'll give you une contravention, which be a ticket, right? So the person is parked badly. They have to move their vehicle or they'll get a ticket. Who is speaking? Qui parle? Un agent de police. So a police agent would be a police officer, in the police agent, police officer. Would be the person that you are going to hear say these things. A, un agent de voyage would be a travel agent. And C, un secrétaire, a secretary, no. And D would be a farmer, un fermier. So B would be the best choice here. Question 11. Sylvie doit conserver la viande. Sylvie doit conserver la viande. Elle a besoin de. So it says une boîte, une poêle, une cuisinière, un réfrigérateur. The best choice here would be D, un réfrigérateur. Right? Sylvie has to, or Sylvie must preserve the meat. She needs what? What does she need? She needs a refrigerator. A, une boîte would be a box. Une poêle would be a pan. C would be like a oven or a cooker. So those couldn't work. D, fridge would be the best choice. Number 12. Mes enfants, il ne faut pas faire de bruit ici. On travaille. Parlez doucement. Mes enfants, il ne faut pas faire de bruit ici. On travaille. Parlez doucement. Où se trouve-t-on? You have à la plage, dans la rue, à la librairie, dans la bibliothèque. You should select for this one letter D, right? So they're in a library. The person says, children, you can't make any noise here. Mes enfants, il ne faut pas faire de bruit ici. B-R-U-I-T, bruit, noise. They can't make any noise here. On travaille, people are working. Parlez doucement, speak quietly, speak softly. Where will you find these persons? They're at a library. À la librairie, bookstore, dans la rue, in the street, or à la plage, at the beach couldn't work. Number 13. Quelle surprise! Mon équipe a gagné, dit Françoise. Quelle surprise! Mon équipe a gagné, dit Françoise. Ils ont gagné la loterie nationale, une carte, un match de football, des récompenses. C, right? So they've obviously won a football match. The keyword there would have been équipe. So if you équipe a gagné, mon équipe a gagné, my team has won. Then the obvious choice would be to select football match. The others, the national lottery map and rewards, those couldn't work. All right, number 14. Voulez-vous vérifier la batterie et le radiateur, s'il vous plaît? La voiture ne marche pas bien. Voulez-vous vérifier la batterie et le radiateur, s'il vous plaît? La voiture ne marche pas bien. Où se trouve la personne? À la gare, au théâtre, dans un café, chez les mécaniciens. Obviously, it's going to be chez les mécaniciens, so at the mechanics, because you would have heard batterie, radiateur. So the person is saying, can you verify, or sorry, not verify, can you check the battery and the radiator, please? The car isn't working well. Where will you find these persons? At a mechanic. So not in a cafe, a theater, or a station. Number 15. Le train est sur le point de partir. Tes parents vont prendre ce train. Le train est sur le point de partir. Tes parents vont prendre ce train. Il te dit, fais vite, le train va partir. Dépêche-toi, le train arrive. Bon, nous sommes à l'heure. Trop tard. Le train est déjà parti. So 15, you would choose A. Hurry up, the train is going to leave. All right. Couldn't be B. B, yes, they're telling, the sentence said, the train is about to leave. Être sur le point, to be about to do something. Le train est sur le point de partir. The train is about to leave. Tes parents veulent, your parents want, prendre ce train. They want to take this train. So they say to you, il te dit, hurry up, the train is going to leave. B says, hurry up, the train, le train arrive, so the train is coming. No. B, well, we're on time. It doesn't seem like they're on time if it's about to leave. And D, trop tard, le train est déjà parti. Too late, the train has already left. So A would fit the bill for this question. Last one in this section, number 16. Redressez, s'il vous plaît, le dos de votre siège, madame. Nous atterrissons dans 10 minutes. Redressez, s'il vous plaît, le dos de votre siège, madame. Nous atterrissons dans 10 minutes. Qui parle? If you chose l'hôtesse de l'air, you're correct. So the air hostess is the one speaking. So the air hostess is telling the person to buckle up or just fix their seat belt because they're about to land, right? So the verb atterrir, to land, would be a clue. You would also have heard le dos de votre siège. That would also be a clue. Right, so redresse, straighten up the back of your seat. Sorry, le dos de votre siège, the back of your seat. They're about to land in 10 minutes. So the air hostess would say that. So not the dentist, the pilot, or chef, the cabinet, the chief of staff. Right, so air hostess, and that concludes that section. The good thing about this one section, you hear the statements twice and then the questions, so you can at least hear or pick up on the clues in what is being read. All right, section 3. So these are the announcements or advertisements in this section, and you'll hear it. You'll hear them twice. So each selection will be read twice. You won't see the questions. Again, the examiner will ask you what the questions are in front of them, and then you will just have your responses. So you will hear what they're reading and then try to select the best one when they ask you the questions. All right, so listen carefully because if they don't go back to any of the sections, so you have to listen carefully. All right, so this one says, first selection, number 17 to 18. Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, ce soir à 20h30, nous transmettons en direct de Bruxelles le match Italie-Belgique. Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, ce soir à 20h30, nous transmettrons en direct de Bruxelles le match Italie-Belgique. Number 17. Ce message s'adresse à des téléspectateurs. So viewers, right? In the announcement that I just read, they were saying, ladies and gentlemen, this evening et 30 ce soir à 20h30, nous transmettons en direct de Bruxelles. We're broadcasting to you live from Brussels, the match Italy-Belgique, right? So then number 18 now, based on what I said, would they ask you, à quelle heure le match va-t-il commencer? At what time does the match begin? So your answer here would be A, à 8h du soir, right? Because in the ad it says ce soir à 20h30, right? Remember they give 24-hour time, so you would have to know what the 12-hour time would be if you hear that, or if they ask you something like this. Right, so it's not 8:30 in the morning, but 8:30 in the evening. All right, and the last one in that section, on parle. So what is it about? It's about d'une rencontre sportive. So it's about a sporting event. It is a documentary. This is a play or theater piece, and this is a TV, TV, a film. Sorry, right? So you'd choose C because of what they said, and not the others. So not a documentary, not a play or a TV movie. It's a sporting event because they would have said le match. So the match Italy-Belgium, right? Next advertisement or announcement. 3 questions again. So you listen carefully and then you quickly try to choose the answers, and also listen carefully for the questions when the examiner asks it, because it won't be repeated. So here goes. Attention tout le monde, on vous rappelle que le casse restera fermé jusqu'à 30 mars pour cause de travaux. Si vous souhaitez encore acheter des billets pour le concert du rock, priez de nous contacter au 752 17 05. Le bureau est ouvert tous les jours, sauf le week-end à partir de 9 heures. Merci. Attention tout le monde. On vous rappelle que le casse restera fermé jusqu'au 30 mars pour cause de travaux. Si vous souhaitez encore acheter des billets pour les concerts du rock, priez de nous contacter au 752 17 05. Le bureau est ouvert tous les jours, sauf le week-end, à partir de 9 heures. Merci. Question 20. Pour quelle occasion achetons des billets? So we have pour l'anniversaire, pour les travaux, pour un concert, ou pour une fête. 20, you select C. It's for a concert. Pour un concert. Because they said, si vous souhaitez encore acheter des billets pour les concerts de rock. So if you want to or wish to purchase tickets for the rock concert, that's what they said. So it's C, for un concert. So the others wouldn't work. It's not for a birthday or work or party or anything like that. 21 says, quand le bureau est-il ouvert? Le samedi, le dimanche, tous les jours, du lundi au vendredi. So 21, when is the office open? For 21, you select D, du lundi au vendredi. They said le bureau est ouvert tous les jours, so it's open every day, sauf le weekend, except on weekends, right? So the word sauf, S-A-U-F, that means except. So it would be Monday to Friday. D. 22. Comment contacter le bureau? Par courrier électronique, en téléphonant, en s'y rendant ou par lettre. So the answer here would be en téléphonant because I read the numbers. So they said priez de nous contacter. So contact us at 752-1705, right? So it was a telephone number. All right, and that concludes section 3, which covers the announcement. All right, so section 4 is the last section in the listening part of the exam. And remember, you're doing a short little story that you have to listen to. So the examiner will tell you to close your booklet when they're about to read this question. So you will at first listen to it being read. Then you are given some time to answer based on what you've heard on that first listen. Then the examiner will read part A of the story. So you at that time, you want to, that first go that they allow you to look in your booklet, look at the questions carefully to see what they are asking you to listen for. Look at the vocabulary being used. So if you don't hear something, then that means probably chances are that's not the answer. So look at the vocabulary to see if you can pick up these vocabulary as you are listening. All right, and also they're not going to ask you anything that's not in the section. So the 4 questions that you're given for each section, that's what is going to be heard in the section you're listening to. So once you're done with perusing for after the first listen, then they'll read part A. You get a few more minutes to answer questions for part A, and then they'll read part B, and then you get the same amount of time that you got for part A to answer your questions for part B, and then the examiner will read it one entire time again for you to check over your answers. So after that, then you will move on to part B of the exam. All right, so I'm going to read this once for time's sake and go through the responses. Learning the hard way. Le mois dernier, Maurice a passé son permis de conduire. Pour fêter sa réussite, il pensait faire une promenade en voiture au bord de la mer. Le seul problème, il n'avait pas de véhicule. Que faire alors? Il a décidé de demander à son père de lui prêter le sien, mais évidemment, celui-ci n'était pas d'accord. Déçu, il a dû trouver une autre solution. Peu après, en discutant avec son frère Marc, une bonne idée lui est venue à l'esprit. Pourquoi ne pas louer un véhicule? Pendant les grandes vacances, Maurice est arrivé à mettre de l'argent de côté en travaillant dans un supermarché. Donc, la décision prise, il est allé en ville où il a fait le nécessaire. Plus tard, les 2 frères se sont mis en route avec leurs amis sans la permission des parents. Cependant, il a commencé à pleuvoir, à verser, et les jeunes chauffeurs ont eu de mal à bien voir. Soudain, la voiture dérapait et elle a heurté un arbre. Quelle catastrophe! Heureusement, personne n'était blessé, mais ils ont tous appris une bonne leçon ce jour-là. So the questions now, part A, why did Maurice want to celebrate? He had gotten a job, he won a prize, he had passed his exams, or he had gotten his driver's license. If you heard and selected D, he had gotten his driver's license, you are correct. The first sentence says, le mois dernier, last month, Maurice a passé son permis de conduire. So he passed his driving test, or he got his driver's license basically. Right? So D. 24. Maurice had hoped to celebrate by going to a club, going for a drive, partying with friends, strolling on the beach. It would be that he wanted to go for a drive. So B. It says pour fêter sa réussite, so to celebrate his success, he thought of going for a drive. Faire une promenade en voiture means to go for a drive. So he wanted to go for a drive. 25. Why did Maurice approach his father? He needed money, he was seeking advice, to ask to borrow his car, or to get permission to go out. It said, il a décidé de demander à son père de lui prêter le sien. So the problem was that, le seul problème, il n'avait pas de véhicule. He didn't have a car, so he decided to ask his father to lend him his, right? So that was it, to ask to borrow his car. C. 26. What idea came to Maurice while he was in discussion with his brother? Renting a vehicle, using a friend's car, borrowing some money, or finding another solution. Yeah, he did find another solution. Il a dû trouver une autre solution. Tout après en discutant avec son frère Mark. So while discussing with his brother Mark, a good idea came to his mind. Une bonne idée lui est venue à l'esprit. Pourquoi ne pas louer un véhicule? So why don't they just rent a vehicle, right? A, renting a vehicle. Louer means to rent. L-O-U-E-R. Then we have the questions of part B now. What was Maurice able to do while working? It says here, pendant les grandes vacances, so during summer vacations, Maurice est arrivé à mettre de l'argent à côté en travaillant dans un supermarché. So he put away some money, right? So you didn't hear to save money. They didn't explicitly say that, but another way to express that, est arrivé à mettre de l'argent de côté. So he put down some money on the side. So that would be B, save some money. 28 says, Maurice went to town in order to deliver a package, meet with friends, make arrangements, or buy something to eat. It says, donc, la décision prise, il est allé en ville où il a fait le nécessaire. So he went into town where he did where he did what was necessary, right? So he made necessary arrangements, right? So C would be the best choice. So it wasn't to deliver anything, meet with any friends, or buy anything to eat. 29. What difficulty did Maurice experience? He lost his way, he misplaced his keys, he could not see clearly, and his wallet had gone missing. Alright, so in the passage it said, le jeune chauffeur eut de mal à bien voir. So the young driver, he had problems seeing well, right? So where is it? See, he could not see clearly, right? Because it had started to rain. Il a commencé à pleuvoir. Last one, 30. The lesson Maurice and his brother learned was to work harder, be responsible, help each other, or respect others' property. What would they have learned? Here, it says, soudain, la voiture a dérapé. So suddenly the car hit a tree, dérapé, et elle a heurté un arbre. So the car skidded and hit a tree. Quelle catastrophe! What a catastrophe! Fortunately, heureusement, personne n'a été blessé. Nobody was hurt. Mais ils ont tous appris une bonne leçon ce jour-là. but they all learned a good lesson that day. So what could the lesson have been? Was it to work harder? No. Be responsible, help each other, or respect each other's property. It would be to be responsible.